So, I'm 21, but I'm no longer 21. Like, I realize there's nothing cool about it anymore. Like, 'cause at first it's like, oh, I can drink, but I've been doing this since I got to college. And then it's like, oh, I can gamble, but I've also been doing that since I got to college too. It's called art school. It's essentially a game where you take $100,000 and you put it on a roulette table and say, let it ride on becoming famous. And they spin the wheel and then you don't find out you lost until 10 years later. And it's stupid because the thing, I'm going to school for writing and literature, and I want to be a comedian. And those aren't really connected at all. The only way I could make that connected is if I did a whole entire routine of just obscure literary jokes. Like, I had sex with Godot today, he never came. You gotta love an audience who paid attention in sophomore English class. Thank you. No, but I've stopped doing a lot of my literary jokes. I've switched to more TV jokes, because TV jokes and literary jokes are similar, except nobody laughs at TV jokes to seem smart. So I've been watching, anybody watch American Horror Story? Yeah, for those who haven't seen it, it's your basic haunted house show, and it's pretty good. But I'm watching and I realize, why do ghosts only ever haunt really nice houses? Like, it's always like a 15th century German castle, or like a Victorian mansion, or somewhere really cool all the time. And I think there's two reasons. Number one is the only way to scare rich people is to damage their property values. And number two, normal problems you can have with your home are way worse than paranormal problems. Like, if I found out there'd be a ghost, I'll be like, oh good, he's gonna scare away the mice. I've been watching, you guys watch Walking Dead? You guys like zombies? Yeah, I think when people say, I really like zombies, what they're really saying is, I wish there was a kind of people it was okay to kill. So, I think if fruits and vegetables had the same complaints and grievances that people have, it wouldn't be politically correct to use the phrase, oranges. That's their color. I think we've learned that it's not okay to call people by their color. Citrus Americans, maybe? I don't know. But here's the thing about political correctness is people don't really understand what it is. It's not like a real thing. It's kind of just a blanket term. It's applied to a bunch of really unrelated incidents. But people use political correctness as like, or being against political correctness as a justification for like anything. Like, I was with my uncle, and a man walked by with a turban on, and he started going off about Muslims, and I said, you know, I believe, based on his headwear, that man was a Sikh, which is not at all related to Muslims. It's very different. And like, okay, Mr. Politically Correct. No, I'm Mr. Actually Correct. Whatever happened to him? You know, whatever happened to wanting factual information to come out of your mouth? I don't even know why I'm still in college, because I know the coolest thing that will happen to me, and all the time that I was in college and will be in college already happened. I got to study abroad for a semester in the Netherlands, which is really cool. And when people find out you went to the Netherlands, they only ever say one thing. They're like, oh man, everything's legal there. Did you get any of that local culture, huh? And it's true, there are certain things that are legal in the Netherlands that are not legal in the US. And I was probably not going to get another chance to go back. So I'll admit it, I euthanized somebody. But everybody thinks that joke is going to be about drugs. And I think that just goes to show how much we don't really care about drugs anyway. Like, nobody cares about smoking pot like as like a danger to society anymore. And if there's any proof of that, this is my senior year of college, and for all 4 years, right across the street from my campus, on the Boston Common, they have Hempfest, where it's a celebration of everybody smoking weed on the Common, which they do every day, but this one day they have a special program, or whatever. But it's like stupid, but nobody's afraid of it. Could you imagine if they had like Meth Fest? Like just 9 hours of people just cleaning their kitchens on the Common? You wouldn't know, or Coke Fest, just a bunch of people doing Coke things. I don't know what people on Coke do. It's not really a Coke economy, is it? So here's something you're not going to believe about me, but I'm really into sports. That's one of the least believable things about me. That, and I don't know what's wrong with your iPhone. I like all sports, except I don't like college sports, because when people say when you say, oh, I like college sports better than pros, what that sounds like to me is I like it better when black people work for free. That's what it is. But I think that my least favorite thing about sports is when they have the headlines after the football games in the paper the next morning, and it always involves the losing mascot getting maimed in some way, like Falcons' wings clipped in defeat, or Jets crash at end of season. That's dumb. If you're going to do that, you might as well be as offensive as possible with it. Like, Broncos break leg and are turned into glue. Or dolphins mauled by Japanese fishermen. Or Redskins given smallpox and forced off their land. That went a little too soon. Thank you guys, you've been wonderful.